From your Weather Authority, Chief Meteorologist Wayne Hart.
Now, severe weather threat has diminished a little bit for tonight. We still have that main wave for the overnight hours, but not looking quite as widespread as the guidance had indicated earlier on. I'll show you an updated future tracker here in just a moment. Today was just a touch hotter, but it was a lot more humid. That made all the difference. 66 the low and 89 the high in Evansville. And temperatures were generally 85 to 90. And tomorrow will be a little bit hotter and still very humid. And then the heat and humidity gradually come down over the weekend, though we may have to wait until Monday to really get back into that tolerable humidity range. On the alerts, all we have now is a severe thunderstorm watch for Saline County, an additional watch in parts of the area, a possibility overnight. As we check out live Doppler radar, all the storms continue from southwestern Illinois into far western Kentucky, pretty much where they were back at the dinner hour and not really moving our way. These are drifting eastward, but the farther east they go, the more they diminish. But some upper level energy is going to kick in overnight, so I do expect we'll see some expansion in the coverage across the area. But this storm that did produce at least a severe storm warning for Paducah, kind of weakening a bit as it moves into the lakes region. Earlier today, we had that weakening batch of showers and thunder showers moving in. Nothing measured in Evansville, so 13 days in a row now without significant rain for the city. About a tenth to a quarter of an inch did fall across parts of southern Illinois. So we had a little sun early, and then the clouds quickly moved in as those scattered showers kind of dried up across the area. And then the sun came back out this afternoon. It began to heat up. Winds switched around to the south, and it felt like summer again. It certainly feels like summer tonight, a much warmer one. We're at 83 over a dew point of 73 with a south-southeast wind at 5 miles per hour. Upper 70s to low 80s. We're just going to fall into the mid-70s overnight. So a very warm summer night on the way. We're 6 to 11 degrees warmer at this hour than we were last night at 10 p.m. So two areas to watch, and it's primarily now what's coming out of southern Missouri. There's going to be some upper-level energy that's going to continue to drive these storms here eastward. But the threat may play out more in our southern counties with this particular batch coming in overnight. Meanwhile, the line that's developing here to the northwest, not as organized as the guidance had anticipated going into this event. So it doesn't look like this is going to hold together and be a solid line of storms for the tri-state, just more scattered activity as we head through the overnight. But regardless, the Storm Prediction Center is still keeping a marginal to slight level 1 to 2 threat for damaging wind overnight. I think the slight risk is overdone a little bit. I think it's going to be more of an isolated wind and hail threat and some very heavy rain locally, but not a situation, unfortunately, where we're all going to get the rain. A lingering marginal isolated severe threat for tomorrow afternoon. The guidance continues to be pretty dry with a very weak front coming through in the afternoon. But if a storm pops, it could go severe with a little bit of damaging wind. But I think much of the day is going to be somewhat quiet. And then Saturday, one more risk for an isolated severe storm in the southern third of the tri-state as the final cold front moves on through. So here's an updated future tracker increasing the activity more south and west of Evansville by 1 a.m. and at 4 a.m. we got most of the action down here in the southern third of the tri-state. We no longer have that line coming in from the northwest. That all stays up to our north, but at least some scattered showers and storms across the area that will be diminishing after daybreak. We could still see a few cells try to fire between, say, 7 a.m. and noon, but as we head into the afternoon, we'll see some clearing. It'll turn breezy, hot, and very humid, and if we see a storm pop, and you can see our models indicating 1 or 2, it could go severe, but not expecting a lot of coverage. Highs will be generally upper 80s to lower 90s, if not lower 90s area wide, and very humid, feeling more like around 100 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Still a spotty shower chance tomorrow night, and then on Saturday, the final front comes on in, and in western Kentucky, you can see more organized scattered storms firing Saturday afternoon. Isolated severe threat there. Those push away a Saturday night, and then finally on Sunday, just a few spotty showers in our eastern counties as the heat and humidity begin to fall. So scattered showers and storms either developing or moving in overnight, mid-70s, so a very warm one. They'll diminish around daybreak. We'll see some clearing tomorrow. Still a few showers and storms around. Breezy, hot, and very humid, upper 80s to low 90s. That 65% chance of rain, a lot of that before the sun comes up. Much of the day will be dry with maybe a few storms in the afternoon. We're very humid, down to just humid for the weekend. 90 Saturday, 84 on Sunday, and next week might be a staycation week. We're looking at pleasantly low humidity levels, dew points into the 50s, highs only in the low to mid 80s, and overnight lows back down to around 60 degrees.
Perfect. Thank you, Wayne.